Well, Democrats and mainstream media already on the attack, slamming Anthony Scaramucci for his Wall Street success.
Right, let me explain what Scaramucci does for a living. He ran a fund of funds, and when you run a fund of funds, you go in. A fund of funds is somebody who basically takes hedge fund money and kind of distributes it. Basically, he's just going out and raising money. So he'll walk into a pension fund and go, invest $100 million with me. Hey, let's go out. I mean, he's basically a salesman, a tire salesman, okay?
Thanks, Donnie. Well, the DNC taking it even further, saying today the swamp grew even bigger as Wall Street continues to move into the White House. Anthony Scaramucci is a longtime Wall Street financier who called himself an ambassador for the hedge fund industry and admitted he is, quote, an out-of-touch elitist. So, why are they knocking him for financial success? Why is success bad? Here to weigh in, Sunday Morning Futures host Maria Bartiromo.
Good morning.
You know Wall Street, you know him.
Right.
Talk to us.
It didn't even sound like they knew what they were talking about in terms of running a fund of funds, by the way. I don't know that they actually understood what Anthony Scaramucci did. Look, there's nothing wrong with success, okay? Success should be celebrated. That's the greatness of this country, that you could start from nothing and work really hard, perhaps get a little luck, and achieve great success. So it's all good. Look, I think this is a very good choice for this role. Number one is because Anthony Scaramucci believes in the president's agenda. Yeah. He believes in lower taxes, in smaller government, lower regulations, and economic growth. And he expects what he's seen on Wall Street in terms of running a business. He knows that in terms of lower taxes and smaller government, lower regulations, that will move the needle.
Didn't you have him on your show a few years ago?
A lot.
And he called the president. He was pretty critical.
You're right, because at that time he was raising money for Scott Walker, and then he was raising money for Jeb Bush. So he was against Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, at that time during the campaign, was slamming hedge fund managers, the rich, saying, and by the way, they do have a crazy carried interest deduction that is really allowing them to, have a much lower tax rate. So that carried interest, a lot of people believe should go away. Anthony Scaramucci, I bet, believes it as well.
So, I mean, there's enough hypocrisy to fill an entire bowl of soup. I mean, it's so going around here because Democrats were more aligned with Wall Street during this last election than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, so now they're upset that he's a Wall Street guy, and they didn't. I mean, come on. There's a huge pile of hypocrisy staring them right in the face.
Yeah. By the way, that interview that you mentioned, Abby, when Anthony Scaramucci was on my show and he was saying, bring it to Donald Trump. I think what was most important and interesting to notice about that interview was the level of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. On the corner of the screen, you see the Dow at 15,000 something. Today, it's above 21,000. What is that? That's $4 trillion in wealth, because the stock market has risen since then, and it has created $4 trillion in wealth, and that is because people are expecting growth.
Maria, do you see the change with Anthony Scaramucci as part of a turn for the administration? Are they going in a different direction? Is this just the beginning?
No, I do think that they're going to go in a different direction because, number one, he believes in the agenda, as I mentioned. He really believes in the agenda. I think it's time to start asking the question, does the GOP believe in the agenda? And does the GOP want this president to be successful? Because with what's going on in healthcare. And the other thing is, he's a boy from Queens, New York. Just like the president. He's not going to take any BS from anyone, and he's going to believe and put that agenda as a priority, and he's going to just say, look, this Russia hearing on non-evidence is fake news.
You got a huge show starting in about 10 minutes right here on the Fox News channel. Who do you have coming on the show?
We're going to talk with Newt Gingrich and Karl Rove about the new communications in the White House and what this means, how this will change. Also, we're talking with Senator Rand Paul. You know that Senator Paul was a no from the replacement health care bill from the Republicans. What is it going to take to get him to yes? Or does he just want the Democrats to be in the lead next year? Does he actually want the majority to go back to the Democrats? I don't know. Fair question to ask.
I'm going to pop some morning popcorn and watch that.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see you, Maria.
Thanks,
We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, next.